Alright, so some boards that you get just kind of make you want to puke. And ready? Ready? Ugh. Ugh. Ew. See, you have the very, very sad attempt at cleaning that did not remove corrosion, but did manage to remove the first layer of the board, completely leaving this. A little bit of corrosion by the SMC reset circuit, just because. Ugh. Oh. Just like, fuck, this is just gonna get, let's just start over. Let's start over. That's what we're gonna do here. That's what we're gonna do. So everything over here is going to fuck off. Even the coil. Yes, Jessa. Yes, Jessa, we're gonna be replacing the coil. Even the coil has to go on a board that looks like this. So I am gonna put my air filter on, a fume extractor on, get it nice up and close. And we are gonna remove all of this garbage. Not every single one, but just about everything here. This is shit. This is what I would say 95% of the places that advertise they do motherboard repair do. Like, they don't even have a new toothbrush. They're using the They're not even scrubbing your board with a new, fresh Crest toothbrush. They're using a certified pre-owned toothbrush that still has, like, their Hot Pocket shit on it from last night. So, goodbye. Goodbye. Fuck off. Goodbye. 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 I'll have mercy on this transistor because it's actually not fucked. Goodbye. 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 Rest in pieces, you mofo. And the connector. The rest of the stuff looks like it wasn't affected by the water. Get the fuck off of my board, you piece of shit. Okay, now that that section is done, now we're just going to get some wicking. Now, this is not the right tip to be wicking with, but I can't find my beveled one, so this will have to do. The beveled one is the one that's flat. So we're just gonna... This is one of those boards where you just start over. Start nice and fresh. This is where donor boards come in handy, because, I mean, if you think that pulling all of these things one by one out of spools is viable in a society where consumer expectations are such that I have a completion date of this before they even walk in the door, no, that's not how this works. We're going to grab a donor board, we're going to take these little pieces off of the donor board, and then we're going to fix the board with what we took from the donor. We're going to use a donor board that was one of those defect throwaways where there was probably some broken via inside the board or a bad CPU, but everything else on it is fine. This would be so much easier if I had the bevel tip, but what are you going to do? Work with what you have, you know? You can't see shit. My air filter was keeping my board from moving where I wanted it to. Oh. What a nasty... nasty piece of shit. Let's bring back those backlight pads over there. I may run a wire just to strengthen this, because that doesn't look that great. Okay. Alrighty, let's start rebuilding. Let's rebuild. I'm going to clean off the board with an anti-static paper towel because I ran out of my clean room wipes and I forgot to buy more. I don't mind if there's a little shard left behind or something because this is going to go into an ultrasonic cleaner when I'm all done with it anyway. Make it look nice and new. Okay, we've got a... Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now we're just going to... We're just going to flux here, and we're going to transfer some things over. Add some fresh solder and just transfer a couple of little things over. Nothing crazy. Okay. Now this over here, see this contact point? See the really red probe points? That's not good. That stuff. Nasty old red bullshit. So while there's still some flux there, I'm just gonna scrape away, and as I scrape away I realize that it's beyond fucked. So, alright. I'm going to make a mental note of that, okay? So you guys have to remind me just in case I forget. You're going to remind me, right? You better remind me, because I don't have that, don't have a great memory. So just promise that you're going to remind me to check that. All right, cool. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, guys. All right. Now this over here is the same thing. That's supposed to connect to this. That'll all get evened out when I solder it with flux later anyway. Okay, so now we're gonna just start transferring things over. Boy, oh boy, the fun part. How the hell is my air set to 100? Jeez. We'll fix that club later. We clearly need more flux. Once you see the joint start to look like this, flux. Yes, more flux. Always more. More the better. The more the merrier. Okay, just gotta continue ripping shit from my donor. Poor little board. I know somebody who every now and then, we talk to each other like once a month regarding board stuff. And he has this saying, he'll send me pictures and tell me what went on. And he always says the same thing. It's like, poor little board. It didn't even need to be taken out of the case to be fixed, and it's being raped. And I look at stuff like this with the toothbrush shit, and it's like, poor little board. You poor little board. I'm sorry that I didn't meet you first. We're gonna make you feel better, though. We are gonna... It's a little difficult to get the right amount of solder in certain areas since the board was scraped away at that point. It'll still work, it's just going to look uglier than it should. But there's not much I can do about that. I'm sorry, little board. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got raped. I'm sorry that you've been raped and... That one's a tricky one to fit in there. Fuck. I fucked that up. But that's... whatever. We're gonna fix it. Add a bunch of flux, and now that it's already down on the board, I can just kind of push it from the top. That would technically work in conduct, but that would be a sin to leave on the board like that. Like, that would be a mortal sin. I'm not even religious, but that would be a mortal sin. Now push it into place, and then most importantly, push down. It's got to be flat on the board so that it's not easy to just rip off. You don't want to have it rip off easy. You don't want to Santoro it. I love using the word Santoro as like a noun, a verb. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite words. One of my favorite references. To Santoro something. I use it for kill steals in Dota. Now notice I'm not heating the component on the board most of the time. I'm heating the board and then I'm sliding the component in. What this does is it minimizes the amount of time that I spend heating the component. it's something to be, I'm not always following that rule, 100%, but I do have in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how can I spend the least amount of time possible heating these components? It's something that I think about. Because if I don't think about it, then, you wind up burning them and they wind up not working. And because I'll see people spend like, 30, 50 seconds on one SMD. It's like, what the hell? All right. So let me just see if I have a short to grounds on backlight output. Just before I continue, since I did originally. No short. Multimeter says 0.4 something, which is great. I'm in diode mode. I had the black probe on backlight and the red probe on ground. So now I have to clear a short up here. I have to put in a new fuse. I have to find a capacitor for there. I have to get those two resistors, and I have to put a wire between here and here. That's cool, though. That's cool. Okay, this is not cool. What I just did there is not cool. Whoops. Whoopsie. Can I get... See, the bottom 4 pads are 1, but this one over here is its own independent pin. This is a shit angle. Alright. It's fine that those are touching. They're all the same shit. They're... Okay, so now I gotta find this little cap down there. I'm gonna Santoro that capacitor from another board. To Santoro. To steal without permission. I'm kidding, somewhat. These are my dead boards, so I do have permission to steal them. And I guess I'm taking credit for the fact that I'm taking it from a donor board, so that's, not totally Santoroing it. Dude, I have the dumbest ideas for YouTube, man. Component level fucking board repair, day in, day out. I could have been reading shit off a damn website and making millions of dollars. I had this one guy. His name was Ricky Began that I talk about every now and then on this channel. And I remember him looking at me when I was younger, and 17. He goes, "Kid, making a lot of money is really easy if you decide that what you want to do in life is make a lot of money." I really didn't get what he meant until, you have no passion and you don't give a fuck. And you don't care what you're doing. I guess you can make a lot of money. Now that looks like shit, but I'm going to show you why it is I'm keeping it like that. See, I have to use hot air to get those 2 resistors in next door. So I figure, that they'll flow into place there anyways. I don't want to use excess heat to get that thing in perfect place. And it's going to get heated again anyway when I wind up heating the resistors right next to it. So I might as well use that excess heat that I'm going to be using anyway to flow it into place. So see, when I put the last piece down, my last resistor, then I'll take my sweet-ass time flowing shit into place. No need to until the end. Again, like stuff like this where you have to replace all these random different components. If I was ordering all these one by one, taking them from Mouser and shit like that, you think I'd be able to get this done in the time frame that my clients expect? No, this wouldn't even be a business. Like, it's not even a question of whether that's a better way to do it. This would not be a business. I would be selling people replacement boards. So, because I get a lot of people asking that. Why are you taking stuff from donors? When you got to replace like 15 components at once, like, no. From a specific area, just pulling out a board that I paid like $21 for on AliExpress. It's the fucking way to do it. Okay, you conduct into the other side of the board. Can I trust you? Yeah, I don't know if I can trust you. A little nub over there. All right. Alright, watch what we're gonna do with that piece of shit. You're gonna see, we're gonna own that mofo. So the first thing I gotta do here is I am going to find a solder ball. I'm gonna take a solder ball. Man, that sounds so fucking stupid. A solder ball. An SOLDER ball. And I'm going to put it right there. Check it out. Check it out. And we'll check out what I'm going to do to make myself a solder pad. Alright, magnify, mofo. Give me all the magnification that you can. I can't see shit. Alright, let's go up here. Okay. We're at about 23x right now. Okay, now I'm going to push that little solder ball right onto that metal part, and check this. I'm going to make myself a pad. With hot air and that. I want to see where my hot air is, that's why I zoomed out. We're going to add some flux because it's not really going where I want it to. And I'm going to try to push it into place. Fuck me. Okay, we're going to do that again. That's not how this is supposed to happen. Harry Tweezer. Alright, come on. The level of patience one must have here. I'll take my sweet ass time. You're becoming a pad whether you want to or not. There, you see that? It just went in. Bam! That's a pad. Kind of. Sort of, maybe. Alright, so that. That's going to get wired directly to that resistor for backlight return. In no way in hell am I using an insulated wire for that. I don't want anything to happen to that little pad. So I'm not going to use insulated wire, because if I use the insulated wire, then while I'm knocking off the insulation, there's a chance of screwing up that little ball pad that I made. Like what I just did here. Yeah, I just fucked it up. Motherfucker. Fucking piece of shit. You fucking fuck. Alright. I should have pre-cut the wire. That would have been the smart thing to do here. And also have tinned the wire at the end. Let's see if I can save myself there. I should have used the smaller iron tip. Can I save myself? Try again. Yeah, you're supposed to put the solder ball first. This is going terribly. This is the worst demonstration I've ever done of this because this really does work. It is a legitimate tactic. You can use the ball to make the pad bigger and then solder to the little pad that you just made. It does work. It's possible. And just because I'm doing a shit job of showing you doesn't mean that it doesn't work. With any luck, that's actually soldered to the nub. Who the fuck knows? We'll figure out when I turn it on. If you see stripes on one side of the screen, then the answer will be blatantly obvious. Alright, so back to this piece of shit. So between you and you needs to be... Ah, this is frustrating. Okay, let's stop torturing myself and add the tiny iron. Someone called this morning and asked, like, yeah, I have some boards. I'm not sure what I want to do with them. And I'm like, well, you know, it's a free country. It's up to you. And he's like, I know what he's hinting at. He's hinting at, like, if I make it $20, that he'll fix them. And I go, well, that's really up to you what you want to do with them. He's like, yeah, I mean, I guess it would be worth it for me to fix them if it would be like 70, 90 bucks. That is the reason I upload all these videos. Because, like, when I say something mean to somebody that asked me to do this for 70 to 100 bucks, I just want you to understand why that is. I want you to have a genuine understanding and not think that I'm just being mean because I just, you know, I want to live in a fucking castle. Because this is it. This is what I'm gonna be doing. I will and if I do all this crap and the CPU is dead on this, guess how much money I get to keep? None of it. Alright. Let's do the LCD connector left next, and after that, we'll see if we have stripes. If we don't have stripes, that means that my little ball, my ball to wire clusterfuck actually worked. Really hope that thing actually works. Oh, sweet. Kind of curious if I can do the anchor pins with the micro pencil. I don't know if I've tried that before. Let's see, is the micro pencil strong enough? Can it heat enough to actually do the anchor pins of this connector? So I'll do. This, let's see. Do we have a Hacko endorsement or no Hacko endorsement? Damn. Okay. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Cheap ass micro pencil can do the. I have to push it down on the board. Not perfect, but it, you know, it does it. It doesn't really, not what it's made for, but it will do it. Okay, now we do this side. Man, that is some nasty ground plane. Okay, now we run the wire. Should be not the run a wire. We're gonna do the pads first, then run a wire. Come on, go, little anchor pad. And this is not what this iron is made for. But it can do it if you're mean to it, you force it, peer pressure it a little bit. All right, now for the connector itself. Oh, you can't do the dragging with this like you can with my other one. Yeah, give me my JSO2 tip. T15 JSO2 tip. That will do it. Watch. That trick only works when you have the T15 JSO2 tip. And I can just drag right across. And be done. It just likes the bitch, but eventually it shuts up. It's kind of like my parents arguing with one another. Clean, suck, clean, suck it up, and clean. Ooh. Alright, now I'm gonna run a little bit of a wire. Just because I don't trust what's left on the board for the entire backlight voltage. That area was a little bit damaged, so the nice thing to do would be to run a wire. I'm gonna make the wire nice and flat on the board. And we're gonna run it along here just in case that trace is weakened by the clusterfuck. I've stripped a little too much of the wire insulation, but who am I kidding? This running, like, I still like blue and board repair, don't get me wrong. It's just this whole running jumper wires shit, like, I am so done with running jumper wires. And like reballing and shit like that. Like, fixing problems is cool, figuring things out is cool, but this is just, ugh. Should I bring it back around for another try? Yeah, why not? What the hell? Make a little loop-de-loop. Oh, what do you mean loop-de-loop? What the fuck are you doing? You drunk? No. Stop, you idiot. Alright, yeah. Loop. Okay. What the hell did I just decide to do that for? Okay. This is a disgraceful jumper. This is so disgraceful. There's literally broken stuff inside of it. No, wait, we're doing this again. Fuck. That is this. Let's try this again. Basic jumper. 101 of board repair. Can I get it done? I'll just use what I'm used to. From there. This used to be so much easier, like 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago. Okay, and I hold, damn it. Try to hold the tweezer down. And tap. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want it to look like. I just ripped it off. Great. I meant hold tweezer down, not rip wire off board. But thank you, left hand. Alright. I feel the same way about my left hand as Frank does in the video that he did called A Letter to Anus, or something like Dear Mouth or Dear Anus. Oh no, his Anus Writes a Letter. That's the name of the video. So I want you to go to Zefrank's channel, Zefrank1, Zefrank1, and search for a video called Anus Writes a Letter. Watch it. And that's pretty much the way that his dick feels about his left hand is the same way that I feel about my left hand right now. An anus would never eat a jalapeno. Oh man, I love Zefrank stuff. I'm so sad that he left for BuzzFeed. Okay, that's good enough. The reason that's good enough is because It's not going to get any better today. And that the trace in the board is kind of sufficient already. That's just because of my own damn OCD wanting it. The trace on the board was good, but the pad looks shitty and that looks shitty, and I just don't want this coming back with some kind of flickering backlight. So the wire will definitely suffice. The pad by itself will suffice, but together I have a nice little guarantee that I'm probably never going to see this person again when I'm done. And that's ultimately what I go for. I never want to see somebody again. If I see you at a museum, sure, fine. See you at a Tori Amos concert, great. If I see you back here with no backlight, that's not the circumstance under which I want to see my customers again. Okay. Now the last thing to do here is to run a fuse. And I didn't take it off of the donor because I don't like using used fuses. I mean, I try not to. You can, that's fine, you know. But if, like, a fuse is a component that blows when too much energy passes through. Like, that's what it does by design. So each time I'm kind of heating it to solder, and I'm kind of probably killing its lifespan just a little bit. And technically with every component, you're kind of killing its lifespan when you go to heat it to solder. But a fuse is just one of those things where, I mean, it's standard enough on every single board. It's just worth it to have a new one. It's not, you know, it's not like I have to have a different backlight fuse for every single board in existence. I have 2 here, and that covers just about everything. Come on, get on the board. Okay. You've melted. Now turn. Turn, sesame. Oh, I put my air way too low. That's why this is taking forever. That took forever. Alright. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to see if this works and has a light, and if it does have a light, then I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done going through the ultrasonic cleaner, and you know what it looks like once everything is nice and clean. Because right now, of course, the board looks like complete fucking piece of shit. So, let's see what I get. Also, before I wind up plugging it in and turning it on, I'm going to just do a quick check to see if there's a short to ground and backlight. Now, I did one before and there wasn't a short to ground on backlight, but the reason I'm doing that again is because if there's a short to ground inside the screen, it's going to blow up my circuit. I'd like to know. And there isn't. I'm getting a nice 0.459 on the board, 0.40 something. It's moving up and down, but it's not moving anywhere near the range where I have to worry about it destroying my backlight circuit. Okay, we're going to plug this in. All right. It was going to spin, then turn off, then spin, then turn off, then spin, then turn off, then spin. Because that's what these 2013-14 airs do. It's annoying, but it is what it is. They do that when they do RTC reset, when you unplug the battery. Okay, just about one set of spins away. Motherfucker! I win. I win. This is a 45-minute video for a single board repair, so I shouldn't really say the word win. I don't quite feel like I've won. Anyway, so that was probably the shittiest no backlight repair I've done in quite a while. Caught myself there. So I'm gonna take everything apart here. I'm gonna put it through the ultrasonic cleaner, and then I'm gonna record what it looks like when it's out of the ultrasonic cleaner, so that you can see what it looks like after all that's done. So you're gonna get to see the beginning, the before. You're gonna get to see what it looks like after the work's been done, and then after the work's been done, you're going to get to see what it looks like after all the flux and all that shit disappears. Remember, we're not exactly working with the best here. It looks like somebody did their best to just scrape and stab away at the ground plane of the board. But what are you going to do? Not everything can get to me first. Let me stop.